This is level 1, lessons 1 through 5. We're going to cover consonant and short vowel sound. So our first lesson, we start with these sounds because they are easy to hold, which makes it easier to blend. So this sound is So what I want you to do, when I point to a sound, you say the sound and then see if you get it right. You can either pause the video between each sound, or you could pause the video, do the whole screen, and then turn it back on and see how you do. And we will cover capital and lowercase letters. F, ul, 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 ul. Now notice we don't pronounce them with an exaggerated vowel sound. We don't say m or f or l. That's confusing because we don't always have an sound as the next sound. So try to have the pure sound with nothing added after. This one is n, f, ul, n, f, ul, n, f, ul, n, We're going to learn the short I and short A sounds. Now, all the vowels, which are sounds you can say with your mouth open, basically, vowels have many sounds, but we are going to just learn one sound for each of these vowels right now. I, 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 ah, 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 ah. Now in the Leapfrog Talking Letter Factory video, which I highly recommend for little kids learning their sounds for the first time, they teach this sound by having the monster jump out and saying wooga wooga, and the kids go ah! And so the Talking Letter Factory is a great way to learn the beginning of the short vowel and consonant sounds for little kids. Even kids as young as 3 or 4, if they watch that video every day for a week or 2, they will probably know most of them. I, ah, I, ah, I. Okay, so we're going to review the sounds from day 1 as our first part of lesson 2. If you get most of these wrong, please go back and do day 1 again. So you want to be able to get most of these correct before moving on. F, ul, n, ah, I, f, n, ul, ah, I, ah. How did you do? Don't move on unless you have most of these correct. Now we're going to try to blend them into some 2-letter words. This is often a difficult skill that can take weeks or months for beginner readers to get the hang of. So we're going to hold the vowel sound and exaggerate it, and we will say it slow, and then we will say it fast. In. Now say it fast. In. An. If. In. In. If. Now notice how I move the arrow along with it. It is fine to put your finger under the letters and move them along as you say the sounds. An. If. An. In. Now let's try some 2- and 3-letter words. An. Fan. Now say it fast. Fan. And man. For a beginner reader, it's often easier to exaggerate. Hold all the sounds, do it slowly, and then say it fast. And man. Notice the difference between that and doing with the gap between the sounds. That's much harder for beginners to blend. So hold the sounds as best as you can to say it slowly, then say it fast. Ran. In. Fin. Here we have a phrase. Man. An. Ran. Man. Ran. If these are hard, that's fine. Just repeat lesson 2 until it's much easier. For lesson 3, we're going to start with reviewing the sounds from day 1. You should be able to get most of them correct before moving on. If you have more than 1 or 2 wrong, please go back and redo lessons 1 and 2 until this is easy. For our vowels, we're doing the short sound, which is the only one we've learned so far. A, I, f, n, a, I, a. Here are 2 new consonants. Now these ones are not hard to say, but they are sounds that you can't hold. Like the sound you can hold when reading a word slowly. These ones you can't really do it. That's why we start with the sounds that we did in lesson 1 to make it easier to hold. T, 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 k. Now don't say k, say k. Try to have just the consonant sound without any vowel sounds added. K, 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 t, k, t, k. Here are 2 more. D, 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 p, p, d, d, Now let's try some 2-letter words. Once again, we will say it slowly and then say it fast. Add, add. In. It's fine to go ahead and move your finger as you say each sound. An. If. An. If. Add. In. Add. In. Add. If. Now, if you're finding that your beginner reader has a hard time blending the sounds, try having them practice by you saying a sound, but don't give them anything to look at. For example, if I said dog, you could try another one, and see if they can repeat it slowly and say it fast and recognize the word pen. If they can't do this just by hearing without having something to look at, your reader may need more practice with that before moving on to adding letters to look at. Let's try some 3-letter words. Add, pad. Add, dad. In, pin. For lessons 4, let's review the sounds from day 3. If you get more than 1 or 2 wrong, please go back and do lesson 3 again. K, t, d, p, k, p, t, d, k, t, d, p, k. We're going to learn 2 more short vowel sounds. This one is eh. Think of an old man who can't hear you and he says eh. This one is ah. Let's use these new sounds to practice with some short words. Once again, we will say them slowly and then say them fast. On, on, don. Notice the capital letter. That's because this is a name. In, in, tin. In, pin. In, fin. At, pet. At, let. At, net. Let's try some phrases. At, pet. In, net, net. Pet in net. Pet in net. In, on, pet. Pin on pet. In, fin. on, at, pet. Fin on pet. Here are some more. At, pet, in, in. Pet in tin. Pet in tin. In, pin. In, in. Pin in fin. Pin in fin. Let, man, on, pet. How did you do with lesson 4 with reading the short words and phrases? If those were hard, it's fine to go back and practice previous lessons before moving on. Here we're going to practice all the short vowel sounds after we learn our final short vowel sound. Now let's practice all 5 short vowel sounds. A, I, E, A, E, A, E, A. Here are some more sounds. The green is a reminder to me to tell you something about the sound. This one is B, 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 B. Now, this letter has 2 sounds. The first is S, and the second is Z. At the beginning of a word, this word will always use S. In fact, every time we use this letter in this lesson, it will have its first sound of S, which is the most common. We won't deal with the Z sound until later, but I will just remind you when we get to it that there are 2 sounds, S and Z. So when I point to it, do both sounds. But remember, when we're reading words in this lesson, we will only use the first sound. S, Z, S, Z. Now, when you see 2 S's together, it always says S. It doesn't say S, S. You don't need to do the sound twice. You just do it once. S, S, Z. This letter has 2 sounds. The first one is G, and the second is J. In this lesson, we will only use the G sound. But for now, when I point to it, do both sounds. And always do it in this order, because the first sound is the one that is used the most often. G, J. G, J. G, J. G, J. G, J. Let's practice our sounds from day 1 and 3. If you have trouble with them, please go back to the previous lesson. Don't move on until you can get almost every one correct. F, L, M, N, K, T, D, P, F, N, L, M, T. Let's practice with some short U words. So the short U sound is And all of these words, we're going to use the G sound. Ugh, bug. Ugh, lug. Ugh, mug. Ugh, rug. Ugh, dug. Fun. Run. Now remember, this letter has 2 sounds, but at the beginning of the word, we always use the S sound. So that's what we will use here. Sun. Bun. Let's practice with some short A words with the A sound. Once again, at the end of a word, this letter says G, and at the beginning of a word, this one uses the S sound. Ag, bag. Ag, lag. Ag, rag. Ag, tag. Ag, sag. Add, pad. Add, bad. Add, sad. Add,